My mom chose to ignore a strict rule and pushed me to hurt her. My mother believed that being different meant that she was cooler than everyone else, but honestly, she's just an attention-seeking woman with zero sense of social cues. Basically, I invited my mother to take part in my child's upcoming baptism. I made sure to invite her 2 months in advance just to be sure that she would have plenty of time to prepare a decent outfit for it. Now, the venue I had chosen was an old church that had strict traditional rules when it came to both the ceremony and the clothing. I had a feeling that my mother would end up breaking 1 or 2 rules, but I never expected her to be so blatant about it. On the day of the baptism, my family and I arrived early for a quick rehearsal over the prayers that needed to be done. Unfortunately, my mother had woken up late and couldn't make it to the rehearsal. I told her to at least just make it to the ceremony. I sent her the prayer and focused on everyone else. About half an hour later, my mom arrived wearing the flashiest open cleavage, sleeveless shirt in her closet along with a long skirt. She waved at me at the entrance saying, "Look, I wore pants today." I felt incredibly embarrassed and apologized to everyone for her behavior. However, the moment she tried actually setting foot inside the church, the guard stepped in front of her tracks and said, "I'm sorry, ma'am, but you cannot enter." She gave the guard a weird look and asked what he meant. He explained that her outfit did not meet the rules set out by the church and therefore could not let her in. I was stunned and tried to beg the man to just let her in, just for the baptism. The guard apologized again and repeated that her outfit was inappropriate. My mother raised her voice, saying that women can wear whatever it is they want to wear, and that being told to wear something was a form of discrimination. I handed my mom my jacket, asking her to cover up just so we could finally baptize my baby. My mom explained how she really wanted to wear this specific outfit to the baptism no matter what. Her stubbornness pushed me over the edge, and I started calling her childish and selfish and bitter, that for once she wasn't the main person in our life anymore. She gasped at my comment and yelled back that at least compared to me, she was a decent mother. I scoffed at her answer, asking, "Decent mother? Try unreasonable or selfish." Yeah, actually that's the best summary. You are a selfish woman who can't even show up to her granddaughter's baptism wearing appropriate clothes. What is it that you're even trying to prove? My mom opened her mouth to speak, but nothing came out. She frowned and said, "Maybe you just don't need me anymore after all." She walked back to the parking lot to leave, most likely hoping I would follow her and beg her to come back like I always did, but not this time. I shook my head and walked back to apologize to the priest for the sudden change in plans. I asked another guest to substitute for my mom's role, and they happily obliged. The rest of the ceremony went smoothly, and when we stepped out of the church, my mom sat down on the curb, still looking upset. I sighed a deep sigh before working up the patience to invite her to come to the post-baptism dinner and added, "But you can only join if you're willing to cover up and wear a jacket." She nodded slowly and pulled out a sweater she had been hiding in her large bag. Over dinner, she still managed to test my patience over her arrogance, but it wasn't as bad as usual, so I let it pass. Afterwards, my husband had a heart-to-heart conversation with her, helping explain my side of things after years of suffering under her. Well, she seemed to have understood what he meant because after that, she became much more tame and mature around my family, to my honest surprise. And because of that, we managed to get close enough that I actually left my daughter in her hands a couple of times.